backdrop. I'm working on it. Also, let me know if you guys can hear me. And hello. It's me, Erica, of Artist Till Death. And today, I'm going to make some donuts. Oh, well, actually, rather, inner tube. No, I'm live. Oh, I didn't know that. That's why I said maybe turn that down for a minute. And this is what I want to make with you guys today. It is a wheel thrown inner tube. Let's turn the light on. Boop. Can you see it? Let me think. Let me try to, nope. All right, cool. So it's a completely closed form that I made on the wheel. And I'm going to do one with you guys here for now, today. Start to finish, possibly including the paint job, but you'll see. So, let me find you guys on my disc. Hopefully you can hear me on here. So, let me turn down the volume, and I think I'm going to zoom you guys in just here. Hopefully that's better. Okay. Okay. Volume is low? Okay. 1 second. Oh, meant to do that. You know where the other part of this is? All right. Hopefully this will be better. Hopefully. Okay. Is that better? Can you guys hear me better? More better, 1 or 2? Okay. Let's get started. So here's what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to show you guys how I did that piece, but what the plan is that I'm going to show you how I throw it. So I'm going to make the form out of a piece of clay that looks like this. And then I've already made one that I'm going to trim with you guys and show you how to do that. And then show you how I do a little bit of the accents. If you want to watch that, or if you want to watch like how they're painted or glazed or anything, let me know. I try not to do that many ceramic focused or ceramic focused pieces, because I don't think I'm really an instructor for ceramics, even though I'm basically going to be in a few days because I'm teaching a class. Sorry for the extreme close-up. I'm teaching a class down in Seguin on how to do custom little muggies, and if you're around, I have some spots open. The little mugs come already made and dried and trimmed, and then you just put your own little design on them. And they're so much fun to do. So I know this isn't resin. If you guys are new here, hi. I'm Erica, and this is Artist Till Death. We are a couple of artists that live in Dallas, Texas, and I try to be live most every weekday, but the problem is I'm working on a really big commission that I'm having to film because it takes so long. It's an installation. It's a 40-foot piece, and all my tests and things I'm working on, it's kind of boring at an hour at a time because of the scale. So I'm recording it. I'm pre-recording it so that I can post like the how do I say it? I don't want to post just clips of the long processes because that wouldn't be fun to watch. And so I'm waiting till I get a lot of good content in the different, like the different stages of it. And so that it kind of makes sense to watch. Because it would be really boring to watch a live feed of me spending hours trying to paint one cactus. So yeah, that's kind of been one of the main reasons for my random hiatuses is depends on what I'm doing with that big project. And I know it's really not good for this part of my job is Zoe says hi. And so let me know what you guys think about that. Should I post just like a little updated clip of what's happening with that or what I'm working on that day, or just kind of wait? Y'all tell me. Yeah, that project it's one of the most intimidating things I've ever done because it's such a big piece, and it will be, I mean, it's not going to be on display in a museum, but it'll be in the boardroom of an art museum. So I don't know. I'm so excited about it and so nervous and intimidated to get it done properly that I don't know. There's so much hesitation when you're not sure how exactly you're going to execute something. And my particular kind of ADHD is avoidant. And so when I'm not sure what I'm going to do with something, I completely avoid it altogether until I get a certain kind of inspiration to do it. And so that's like my little life struggle as an artist, and you have to be like self-motivating. Ugh, gotta wobble. So as an artist, you have to kind of be self-motivating, and that's not always the easiest thing to do. So a lot of times when I'm in, I guess an artist rut, a slump, I don't know. When I'm not sure how I'm gonna tackle a project, a lot of times I'll just avoid it altogether. And since Jeff got me my wheel, that has turned to avoiding it and doing clay things instead of what I'm supposed to be doing. And I really like it. I love doing clay. I love it. It's what my actual art degree is in. But there's just so much time that goes into making each piece. I actually had someone ask me for a piece, and I made it, and they were like, I didn't know this cup would be 125 bucks. And I was like, well, it takes me in total to finish that one mug like 2 weeks. So yeah. So anyways, I guess the point of saying that is there's not a whole lot of like return on the time invested with ceramics, but it's so soothing to me that I love doing it anyways. I guess I should tell you a little bit what I'm doing. So I flattened my clay out into this little pancake. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see what's happening. Y'all need to see my extra white hair color that I finally got done. I think it's been since my wedding that I had my hair done. All right. Maybe we'll get you guys higher up. Sorry for all the movement. Okay. I don't know why it's not focusing, but Maybe this. I don't know. I'll believe that it'll just fix itself in a minute. So I will be posting updates to the big piece as I have them edited. Well, thank you, JJ. I appreciate that. Okay, so now that I have this flattened piece of clay that's centered, well, I guess let me just say that throwing a hollow form is not the easiest thing to do. So the inside of this is completely hollow. If I cut a hole in it, it would look like just a hollow ring. And so to do that, it's not the easiest thing to do, but I love doing pieces like this. JJ, your piece arrived without any issues. That is so amazing. Thank you so much for supporting my ceramics. I do have some of my ceramics posted on our website, artisttilldeath.com, and I will be posting more as they come out of the kiln. I don't have that many posted because I don't have that much time to ceramic, but when I'm in deep thought or missing Clara or have a bad day or I have some downtime, basically anything happens and I always turn to clay. So when you buy a piece of ceramics from me, you're buying essentially a piece of what I went through that day, and it means a lot to me. So thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so now that I found the middle, I opened up a little hole. And this is going to be the center of the donut. And now I need to just push in this area right here. I'm taking into consideration how much clay I need to create the inside curve of the donut and how much clay I'm going to need to do the outside curve. What's up, Angela? And so I'm going to need a whole lot more clay on the outside to make the shape in terms of how I do it. So I'm going to push down and make this little gully. If I were going to make a candle holder or a double walled vase, this is the start of that process. Okay. This is where it gets kind of sketchy. So I'm going to pinch the center and bring it up. I know you guys don't really do ceramics, maybe, I don't know. I know my audience is mostly resin focused, but I do all kinds of art, and so I like to show you guys all the different kinds of things that I do. What's up, my love? It's blurry. I don't know why. I tried.
Maybe because it doesn't know what to focus on.
Well, my hands are in the frame, so I don't know what the problem is.
Well, maybe because it's moving.
It's not really moving. So I know they're not going to be...
Maybe because you have it zoomed in.
Okay. So I know there's not going to be that many like clay professionals watching my little rinky-dink videos, but I want to talk you guys a little bit into kind of what I'm doing, just so you guys kind of know. Maybe you'll decide to do some clay one day. So I'm pinching a little bit down here in the base because that's where the thickest body of my clay is. And adding a little bit of pressure, I'm creating a ridge of clay that I'm just pushing all the way up. What's up, Dancing with Aardvarks? How are you doing today? Someone somewhere told me you could throw with paper clay and then you don't need a kiln. I haven't tried that yet, so, but if you are interested, you could give that a shot. I Jeff got me my first wheel from Amazon, and this bigger grown-up size wheel is from Jenny Higgins. And so now I'm just building up the outside wall. This almost looks like a ring holder from my mom's collection. I'm keeping my hands really wet because the drier your hands are, the more the clay is going to try to stick to your hands and not really allow for the movement that you need. It'll start to jump, and you'll really see that. Also, after every pull, I push down on this rim because that keeps everything kind of together and compressed. If you let that get crazy, then the whole piece is going to get kind of squirrely. So in college, my degree is in wheel-thrown ceramics, my art degree. And a lot of people really get surprised with that because who gets a degree in wheel-thrown ceramics? Well, I do. Because I think it's so relaxing, and I don't know. My mom did ceramics growing up, but she did like molds. She didn't have a wheel, and I always was like, Mom, get a wheel. You should get a, why don't you have a wheel though, Mom? And so as soon as I saw ceramics offered in college, I was like, yep, that will be me. I'll take that. And so that's what I did. And I ended up rounding it off to a degree. So now I'm going to try to make sure that the thickness of the wall of my donut is really consistent all the way around. And so that just basically means I need the same amount of thickness. Unlike resin, clay does not self-level. Well, I guess it could if it was really liquid, but it's not. It's in a pretty solid form, so now I'm just trying to build up the side wall and curve it slightly inwards. A lot of times when people first get into throwing, they think that things have to be perfect at this stage, and they really don't be because they don't be. They don't have to be, because really all the refining and all the actual shape making happens when you're trimming them, and I'm going to show you guys that just in a little bit. This is called collaring, and basically it's just an easy way to pinch everything inward because I need to make this and this meet. She did not do primitive pottery. She didn't do coils. She exclusively did slip cast molds, and then she added to those molds. Not added to the molds, but added to the designs after they came out to the mold by like hand carving. I don't mind doing coil built stuff. It's just not my favorite. I feel like I'm much more effective as a ceramicist when I'm on the wheel. I'm way more comfortable here than trying to just pinch things together with my fingers, even though that's essentially still what you're doing here. All right, I'm going to collar it in one more time, and then we're going to join the two bits. Okay, so now this is not something I'll be teaching in my class in Seguin later this month, but I just really like doing these right now, and so I wanted to share it with you guys because you guys are my friends. Okay, so now I'm going to open the inside wall. Hopefully match it to this bit right here. And in my experience, it's gonna get real shifty before it gets real awesome. So everybody hold your breath. Essentially what I'm banking on is an air pocket to form on the inside, and that's gonna allow me to really manipulate the form with something called a rib. And this is a rib. Yay, it worked. Okay. So now that we have this, I'm gonna just clean up the outside just ever so slightly, and then we'll go on to trimming the piece. I'm going to change your angle so that you can see a little bit more about what's going on in just a moment. Bowie says hi. Okay, also, how cool is this? Jeff made me a little bat to go on here that I can just pull the little squares out. So I can just move different squares in and different squares out. Just like this. Now I have a blank one. All right, let me change your vantage point and then we will trim one. Hopefully it won't blur out again. But apparently, yes, it's going to blur. That's so weird. Maybe if I... Sorry about all the zooming in. I'm just trying to figure out what the issue is. Is it blurry where you guys are? You could totally try this at home, TG. I would. So I'm also working on new things with resin as well. Hopefully I'll be able to post those videos soon. Doing a couple tests. So this is my donut that I already cut off the wheel earlier. So you can see it's really thick. It's really thick right here. And it doesn't really look refined. So I'm going to try to do that, try to refine it. So what you do is put a little bit of water down, and then you have to center it. Maybe if I have everybody that wants a custom piece from me watch one of my how to make this videos, they'll kind of understand a little bit more what goes into it and why my pieces aren't exactly priced for everybody. And it sounds so horrible to say that, and I feel so bad. But you know, one of the hardest things as an artist is to figure out how to price your work and how to market your work, and not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's going to understand the whole process and all that. So you kind of have to decide what you're going to do. Are you going to cave and match the prices of everybody that wishes they can afford your stuff, or are you going to spend your time elevating your work for the people that don't know they need your stuff later? You know what I mean? Don't be scared, TG. All right, so I'm going to take this couple bits of clay. I trimmed these off earlier, but you can take fresh clay, and I'm going to use them as lugs to just keep my little donut from moving. All right. Pricing is the bane of my existence. All right, now that we have everything centered, I'm going to take some of my little trimming tools. This is my favorite part of throwing a lot of times. There's just something about a sharp blade or what have you going into soft-ish clay and creating these little ribbons. But then again, I was that kid that really liked cutting paper as a child. I don't know what that means, but I just like the sound of scissors going through paper, like really sharp scissors. I know it sounds weird. I'm so sorry if you guys thought I was just a really cool kid. But that was what I just loved, cutting paper as a child. And this really reminds me of that, but in a more productive way. I guess my ceramic videos are more, this is what I'm thinking about life and things right now instead of instructional, because I don't know. If you guys wanted me to do a super instructional ceramic video, you let me know. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna continue to let this be a therapeutic part of my artistic process, and I guess just kind of chat with you guys while I'm doing it. So what I'm doing now is trimming away. As soon as I say that, I'm going into instructor mode because, you know, I'm wicked smart. So right now I am trimming away the excess because you want the walls all the way around to be even, and if not, it could crack when it's fired because the air is escaping at different speeds, and that's no good. I'm also refining the shape, making it a little bit more rounded on these edges. And it also cuts down on some of the bulk, which makes the piece lighter. I think that looks pretty good. Ugh. Okay. Okay. So now I have the bottom of it shaped. I like this shape, and now I have to do the top of it to match. So, just like before, luckily I have all that stuff still on the, no, I'm gonna have to wet it some. I use water to create kind of a suction, and then the lugs to just further help it stick. Something about when it's perfect the first time I put it down, that makes me feel like I'm actually a genius, even though, come on now. Come on now. We know. It's just a little good luck. Right. This doesn't take too much long because this doesn't take too long because we already basically refined this side when we were first throwing it. We just have to make sure it makes sense with the new rounded angle that we have in the piece. If it's got a little bit of a lump in it, it's fine because it's handmade artwork, right? I think that's it. All right, I'm just gonna smooth it down a little bit. And I think I need to add, since this is gonna be an inner tube and not a donut, I need to add a seam. So I'm gonna push down my lugs so I can get lower on the piece to create these seams. Goodness. And so basically, I'm going to Sorry for the movement. I know it's not amazing. Okay. That seems pretty good. So for the seams, I'm going to take a trimming tool, one of the smaller ones, if I can find it. If not, we're going to yellow it. Ah, I found it. No, I didn't. We're going to yellow it. Okay. So I'm going to just start trimming the seam. And then I'm going to trim the top of the seam. Now when I go to make the little foldy marks, they'll go through these little, the seam that I made, and it'll look more like a little inner tube. All right, let's see. Ugh. Okay. That's what it looks like now. Okay, so then I take this really high-end tool. Wait, where'd it go? Nope. This, come over here, is a skewer for kebabs. And I'm just going to press it into my donut. And if you're working with like a polymer clay, you can just form a donut and put these little ridges and seams in it. I think what I'm gonna do is make a really big resin painting, like do a big ocean pour, and then create little palm trees and flip-flops and possibly people and definitely inner tubes. To make it just a whole little scene. Because I think that would be super cute. But what do you guys think? I need to know. Don't let me just be delusional. Need to know if that's a good idea or a bad idea. I kind of vary the height and where these little divots and seams kind of land. In my head, it makes it look more realistic. And some of them I'll even bring up into the piece. I'm using so this is essentially a square, right? It's got all these, not gonna focus? That sounds about right. So it's a square. So it's got the flat edges and then the points. So I'm using the corner so that makes that like pinched look. Can you hear him laughing in the background? I hope so. Ooh, and don't forget to do the inside. I'm not gonna do a seam on the inside. I'm just gonna do the folds, just because I'm not exactly sure how I would do a seam on the inside. I guess I could reverse engineer it and try to throw something with a seam on the inside, but I haven't tried it yet, so I can't really speak on it at this juncture. But I think using the corner of one of these skewers just gives that super cute little folded over look. And then I do to the back side as well. In my head, I'm going to do an entire wall installation of a whole bunch of different colored, like brightly patterned inner tubes and donuts and who knows what else. You know, just in my spare time, whatever that means. I heard it, I think, on the internet somewhere. I think Taylor Swift said something about a spare time. I don't know. So look, isn't it so fun? Doesn't it look like an inner tube that you would just get in and splash your... Summer doesn't have to be over. That being said, I'm fully into fall. The work that goes into literally a donut. I have 100 pounds of clay I'm excited to play with, but throwing will not be part of the fun. You can make a hollow one. Just, if you have an extruder, you could just make a hollow tube. I'm gonna set that aside. And I have to trim a cup if you guys want to hang out for that. You don't have to. But I'll be happy to answer questions. So I do control the speed. I have a pedal right here. And this pedal controls how fast the wheel goes. Hold on. A la driving a car-ish. Aww. I love donuts. That is, I think, my husband's favorite food group. Even if it's not an exact food group. Can't tell him that. Yes, do it. What did I say I was gonna do? I forgot. Oh, the donut wall. I'm working on it. I have a couple of them right behind me. No worries, TG. So I'm just gonna trim this last one before I dismiss class. There's nothing new or exciting to be learned on trimming this one. It's just a vase that, nope. Okay, Bowie. It's just a piece that I have to trim for someone that wants one of my lip mugs. And I might as well tell you guys a little bit about how I trim my mugs. So my pieces are generally thrown as thin as I would want them on the sides. And I have to just trim away the foot, which is down here. And so when you want to create a foot, you have to kind of decide where you want it to start. And so let's say on this one, we'll do a foot starting right there. So then I'll make this shape match up to the wall of the foot on this side. And then we'll decide how thick we want the foot to be, so it'll be that thick. And now we'll just shape it up and make it look good. This particular clay has what's called grog in it, so it's like a rough sand. So you can see, hopefully, depending on if my thing's focusing, that rough looking texture. Grog just helps you to be able to keep the shape of whatever it is you're making. It's just for structure. So if I was going to make a really big vase, like a moon jar that has a really wide shoulder, you would want to have something like grog in it so that you could form it in these extravagant ways without it collapsing in on itself, which sucks so bad. TG, when are you coming back over here? Play and clay with me. I know you won't be here for my clay class in Seguin, but You need to bring that pom puppy over here because I am addicted to pom puppies. And I don't mind sharing the fact that I have an addiction to Pomeranian puppies. So every once in a while when I'm trimming out things, I'll stop and push on the walls and on the bottom to make sure that I'm not going too far, because it's really easy to trim too far in and poke a hole in the bottom of the piece. I have many flower pots that started as bowls. I'm gonna leave that there. Then after you get this trimmed up, you can decide if you want to add a handle or not. And you can start carving in any designs that you would want to have. This one is going to have lips on it, so I can't just start carving into it because it's an applique. Well, it's not even applique. Well, I guess it is applique. But it's not a pre-made piece that I'm applying to it. I'm going to hand sculpt the lip shapes onto it after it hardens up a little bit more. I don't know, in my head I feel like I'm kind of traumatizing the clay a little bit when I trim it like this, and so I like to let it rest before doing a whole bunch of work to it. I'm pretty sure it's just in my head, but it makes a difference to me. Each one of these cups is a labor of love, and I love to do them. It's so funny what feels like work versus is something you wake up wanting to do. And for me, art is that, and so I'm every day thankful to be able to create, even on the stressful days, even on the why is nobody buying artwork right now because the economy days. Even through those days, I couldn't imagine going back to having a grown-up job, and I feel so thankful for that every day. And it's because of viewers like you. I sound like a PBS infomercial. I think that's good. I think I like the shape. I'm just gonna smooth it out, and that'll be done. Well, I gotta fix this rim. See, it's really soft now. I wouldn't really be able to build any designs onto it because it's way too soft. But we will set it down and let it leather hard back up, and then we'll start adding to it. So this one started about at this shape. No, it didn't. It started like at this shape. Then we trimmed it down to this. I love it. Love everything about it. And I'm looking forward to knowing what you guys think about our little donut that we made today. What do you guys want me to paint on it? What design should we put on our little inner tube? Adulting sucks. Agreed. Oh, that's fun, TG. Bring both of them over to my house. So you guys, I'm gonna wrap these up so that they don't dry out too much before I get to finish arting on them. If you haven't seen my new ceramic corner, my little ceramic nook, it's not gonna focus, so I'm sorry. Maybe? No. All right, cool. There's a Bowie and my little ceramic nook. Sorry for the hand. I'm just trying to get it to focus, and it's not going to, so that's fine. I'm super excited to all my little Halloween things that are going to be dropping soon, like that's a boo sheet. Coffee mug. Oh, and what I wanted to show you guys, it's probably not going to show you because no, you can't see because it's not focusing. There's a slit right here from the wall not being consistent. Anyways, I love him, and I appreciate you guys being here to see my donutty creations. And I hope I get to see you guys tomorrow, 2 p.m. I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow, but if you have any requests, type them down in the description. And so, yeah, be kind to one another because you never know what someone's going through. Maybe Bowie will say it. You never know what someone's going through.
And always remember, we do the test.
So Bowie doesn't have to because he's tired and out of focus. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Is tomorrow Tuesday? 2 p.m. I have mud everywhere. That's part of my life. Anyways, see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Until then, be kind to one another because you never know what someone's going through. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
He said bye.